mysterious encounters reported at the same locations for thousands of years. Aliens have been visiting ancient sites like Pumapunku for thousands of years, and recently, sites like Secret Base from Hot Toys in Hong Kong. What in the world is going on? From local construction sites to the highest mountaintops across the globes, squadrons of UFOs are being reported every day.
There was a squadron of UFOs reported just yesterday at the comic shop in Moscow.
And are some of these otherworldly beings scouring sacred places on Earth?
Many of these sacred places on Earth play host to sacred objects that allegedly descended from the sky.
And could these beings from distant stars be looking for our Hot Toys to help them power their energy fields on their planets at home? So you do have to wonder, are the waitlisted Hot Toys in other parts of the universe? There is a doorway that leads to the notion that life here began out there, far across the universe. Join Aries Tarrington as he embarks on a quest to uncover ancient action figures, not only on planet Earth, but in other realities and other Earths across the universe. Oh my goodness. All of this Darkside, the power of the Darkside. How many announcements? And are those announcements really just setting the table, baby, for some of these other Darkside figures that are on the banner? We've got May 4th around the corner. What about an artisan Kylo Ren from the Rise of Skywalker? What about Darkside Rey? What about Darkside Anakin? What about the Eternal Sith? We're going to dive into all of that within this episode for sure, because you've heard so much already about Darth Revan and all of that heat. And I will touch on it briefly, but so many other channel creators have. I'm going to go a different route and explain to you how those figures are really just setting the table. So stay tuned for that. What is going on with some of these figures like the young Barry that have been canceled by Hot Toys? What's up with that? You're going to get my thoughts on that as well. What's going on with this Spider-Man 3 Venomized Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? What's going on with that? I do have some news. I also have some news on the Mandalorian Luke. It appears that every version now, including the Sideshow exclusive one, is on waitlist. There is so much to dive into, and I am all out of the coffee. It's gone. I'm all out of the Spotchka, regular and deluxe. It's gone. I'm out of the other wizard juice. I just got some of this wizard juice right here, my friends. Let's go ahead and dive into this mega-packed episode right now. All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Aries Tarrington Show, right here at the 6 scale cantina. Look, we have an absolute ton to go over here within this episode for sure. Now, you see the banner here, and it's a little bit different than all the Darth Revan stuff and everything else that's going on right now with the power of the dark side, the special coins, and everything else. I think that is just the beginning. When you talk about other dark side figures that have head sculpts, particularly with the Emperor, with Kylo Ren, with Darkside Rey, with Darkside Anakin, we're going to get into that within this episode for sure. Okay? But that has been covered by many content creators within this community about Darth Revan and all that other fire that we've got this week. I am going to go over that and give you my thoughts on everything here. But I'm going to spend even more time later in the show addressing what I think that sets the table for, particularly with a few of these figures that you see here on the banner. What I want to get into first is some of these low stock warnings, some of these cancellations, and some of these waitlist alerts. So before we get into Darth Revan and all my thoughts on the droids and on the other table setter characters and getting into this later in the show, I want to get all into that. But first, I do want to address this. Pulling this up onto the screen first and speaking a little bit about this is, this Hot Toys announcement of, some projects that have been canceled. So this is on the official Hot Toys Hong Kong website. So, perhaps some collectors are wondering, is this for real? Because it already hit waitlist on Sideshow's website. I do think that it is for real because it is on the Hot Toys website. Now, it is possible that, in Europe and in the United States, that they would release these figures and they just won't release them in Hong Kong. That is possible. That is possible. But let me just address this right here. You can see what this says here. Due to unforeseen market alterations. Notice they use the word market. We have been involuntary to cancel the following projects. Of course, the Iron Man What If figure. And also MMS 723 and 724. The Young Flash. Young Barry. From the Flash movie. Now, it also says Hot Toys has reacted to rapid market changes. Notice the words that they use and some of the things that I have been pointing out for the last couple of years. Rapid market changes. And you do have to ask yourself, have they been reacting to the market with these low production numbers, with the most ever exclusives between last year and this year, and we're not even close to being done starting for this year, than we've ever seen before? Have they reacted? And I say yes. Look, there's a couple of things here. Let's talk about both of these figures. I just don't think that they sold enough of them. And there's just, the market, like I've been saying, and I'm going to talk about it even more during this show. This is a very, very, very mature industry right now. 6 scale and toy collecting in general. Whether you look at the Black Series or you want to look at Hot Toys, whether you want to look at Hasbro or you want to look at Hot Toys or you want to talk about toys in general, there are not a whole lot of new collectors that are diving into these type of hobbies right now in a very quick pace. In other words, what I'm trying to say, to give you, and I mentioned this in my previous shows and my last show, to give you a direct correlation of what I mean by a mature market, and let me give you an industry that probably all of us could identify with. Take the automobile industry. That is an example of a mature market, a mature industry. There's not a new country being discovered or a new dimension of humanity that has come about where you're going to get all these new people that are going to discover cars, that are going to discover automobiles, and dive into the automobile hobby. If you're already driving, you're going to drive. Then if people already have cars, and people already have automobiles, and it's the same people, how do you sell them new cars and new vehicles and new automobiles? By 2.0ing them, 3.0ing them, 4.0ing them, advancing them. And people that want to get a new warranty, factory warranty, or a new certified factory warranty, or get a new car and get an upgraded version, that's what they'll do. That's a mature industry. And if they want to go ahead and get into a new line of toys, they can get out of Ford or they can get out of Hot Toys and they can go into Chevy, they can go into Inart, or they can go into Statues, or they can go into Black Series. Okay, going from Cadillacs and Mercedes, to more, Ford Focuses and things of that nature. Okay, there's so many different comparisons that you can draw, but there's not a whole lot of new drivers in the millions and millions that are going to come in and discover cars. And right with toys as well, there's just not a whole lot of money in this economy right now for new enthusiasts to come in and dive into these toys, especially when you're dealing with toys that cost this much money. It's the same people over and over and over again that you are selling to. So you're going to get a lot of 2.0s. You're going to get a lot of 3.0s. You're going to get a lot of 4.0s. And then what a lot of people in this community don't call a 2.0 or a 3.0 is a different version of a character. Or no, later in the movie he wears a scarf. Or he has a different shirt on. Or he doesn't have this jacket. Or has this battle dab. It's sure, that's a different figure. That's not exactly the same figure as the one that came out before. But really it's a 2.0. Really, it's a 3.0. Really, it's just a different version of the same exact thing coming out. And that's what you're seeing over and over and over again. But with very, very limited quantities. What have I also been saying the last few years? More and more announcements are going to be coming out. And gosh almighty, have we been getting more and more announcements. But what has been the story that has been accompanying these announcements? Less production of those announcements. Now, the production has been so small on some of these, it's hard for me to actually completely tell you that they just didn't sell enough of the What If and the Flash. Actually, I don't really think that is necessarily the case. I think it's something else, because I really think with young Barry and this Sicarian Iron Man figure that there would be enough, not in terms of what we looked at during COVID or pre-COVID, because then it wouldn't be enough. You're not dealing with minimum 10,000 pieces or 12,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 or getting up there. Right now they're putting out figures that are very, very limited. Some of them are 300. Some of them are 1,000. Some of them are 1,500. Some of them go up to 4,000. Like the Artisan Special Edition Joker or the Artisan Jack Sparrow. So really, you can't sell 1,500. Sure you can, flashes. What is really going on here? But it could be a combination of a lot of different things. But there are, it says right here up on the screen, unforeseen market alterations involuntary to cancel the following projects. There could be a number of different issues that pertain, to the market. There could be some production times. There could be some licensing considerations that, they're not going to disclose, to us here. It could be a myriad of things. But the one thing I'm going to point out here, because nobody really knows, only Hot Toys knows exactly what is going on with these two big figures. I'm just telling you, from all the research that I've done, I don't think that they would have an issue selling 1,500 or 1,000 or 300 or the amount of, for instance, Gore, or the Grand Inquisitor or the Third Sister, with these figures. I don't think that that's the issue. I think that there may be some other things that are going on over here with this stuff. So when you're seeing that these figures are getting low stock warnings and they're going on wait lists and they're seemingly going to the very bottom of the list shortly afterwards, like the DX28, Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan series, or the Obi-Wan figure from the Obi-Wan series as well, and you're seeing them disappear, don't think that they're coming back. I really think that these are it. That's it. It's some of these figures are going to be very highly sought after. You're probably not going to see them again, from my projections on how the global economy is going to be over the next decade and whatnot. I think you're going to get different iterations, different types of 2.0s, 3.0s, as we were talking about, if you will, different versions, different Obi-Wan from that series, a different Vader, full Hayden head sculpt from that series, things like that. Again, I think you have to pay very close attention to what is available, and you can't no longer say just you can get it anywhere. Don't have FOMO. Don't just think you can buy it here or there, because many of these retailers are going to charge you more money. Even in the United States, they're catching on. You get a mom and pop retailer who doesn't have any idea what's going on here, and they're just going to sell it for retail, sure. You're going to find some of those. But once they go, those mom and pop stores aren't buying a dozen of these each. They're only buying maybe one, maybe two. Okay? And then your very savvy sellers, some of them, are going to sell these for the markup, just like with Black Series that you're seeing right now in the secondary market. So don't fall or get fooled thinking that you could just buy these anywhere. Don't fall and get fooled that there's just so much quantities of these, and Hot Toys is in the position that they're just going to lose money, and Sideshow's in the position that they're going to continue to produce figures at a magnitude that is going to, cause them to continually discount figures in a very mature market where there's only a limited amount of people, the same people, that you're going to regurgitate and sell these to over and over and over and over again. Don't get fooled, because that bargain bin story is a story that was very well publicized, and a lot of collectors are able to take advantage of that. But a lot of the official distributors and sellers also paid attention to that and then adjusted to that. And I use the word adjusted because you're seeing right here that they're using the word market alterations, using the word involuntary, and that they are reacting to rapid market changes, and The good thing out of all this, while they use the words highly disappointed in this unusual situation of project cancellation, is you are going to get more and more collectability with many of these figures, instant collectability, because with all of these, even the ones that seem like they'll never be collectible, I think that if you have an opportunity to take advantage right now, buy some of these discounts that you see them on discounts, I think that this market will move away from the mature stage, and things will change in the future. I just don't think it's going to be very quickly. Okay? So I do think it's very, very worth it to do that. But as far as instant collectability, is it possible that that's exactly what you're going to get with many of these new releases? And I say yes. And we're going to get into that right now. Now, as far as my thoughts on Revan, the 000 and some of these other figures, stay tuned. I will dive into that. But let's right now get into some things going on with Spider-Man, Luke Skywalker, and some of these other things before I get into that. And my, what do you know? And look, even the almighty Spider-Man, and I think we're all starting to get the picture here, is not immune to anything right now with this volatile global economy and the new way of going ahead and being able to secure some Hot Toys figures here. I mean, this is from Spider-Man 3. It's Peter Parker. It's Tobey Maguire, and wearing the black suit. With all this Venomized stuff, and you could see right here on the screen as I go ahead and blow this up, so you could see low stock remaining. Are you kidding me? And when you go to even the collector edition of this particular figure, it also has a low stock remaining warning. And you have to wonder, does this mean that the other deluxe exclusive version and the regular deluxe version are going to very quickly follow suit? And I say yes. But why? Why would they follow suit? And I think the simple answer is because all the trends have been pointing to that they will follow suit, especially on these particular Marvel, DC, and even Star Wars figures like this. What have I been saying for such a long time now? It doesn't matter if it's Spider-Man and a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, an epic Spider-Man such as this, or a figure from the Obi-Wan series that a particular person in this community thinks just wasn't very, very good. Or whether it is an Iron Man figure, or perhaps a figure like Gore, which other people in the community didn't feel was necessarily a great character or a good movie in that regard as well. It doesn't matter what you think or I think or anyone thinks of the character. If we think the character is something of collectors need Iron Man, collectors need Spider-Man, or collectors don't need Gore or don't need the third sister. It has absolutely nothing at all to do with that whatsoever. It has to do with supply and demand, baby. Just like I was trying to point out in my last show. These particular figures have a specific runtime, a certain allotment, and Hot Toys is going to be done. Because there's only so many sales that a new figure can generate in an economy like this, which limits new collectors from jumping in head first in a great large scale. And number two, many hobbies such as this have hit a maturity stage. Now, what is a maturity stage in a particular industry? And I was pointing this out the last time. Think of it like the auto industry. We're at a point where mostly anything that is all of these cars, it's not necessarily coming from a plethora of new car enthusiasts coming in and deciding we want to buy a car and experience what that's like. Most everybody that has a car is going to buy a car. Now, unless you're very rich and well off and you just turn whatever it is, 16, 17, and 18, and, there's going to be a million of those individuals and they're going to just buy a new car. Most kids that age are going to go ahead and get a used car, or they've saved up for one that their parents or their guardians have helped them get one. It's just a mature market. When you're going to get a car, it's because you got a 2.0 it, because yours is so old and it's not working as well, or you want to go ahead and get a new factory or a certified warranty, and you've got a 2.0 it, or 3.0 it, or 4.0 it, or perhaps get into a new collection, meaning you're going to go from Chevy to Ford, baby. Okay? And is that very similar to what is going on right now with this type of collecting? And I say yes. So it doesn't matter if it's Iron Man or Gore. And honestly, in some cases, because it's a mature market, you may have it, for instance, where some of these characters that you wouldn't think be as popular as someone like Iron Man may sell a little bit more, only because the mature collectors have so many Iron Mans. Maybe they would go ahead and look for something different. Now, that's not always going to be the case, but really this is an industry right now, in a stage where it's in a mature stage, for sure. And as we continue to innovate, like with these figures here, and you're starting to get rolling eyes function with every particular figure, with any type of light up or electronics function as well, you're getting, USB powered. You're starting to get these amazing diorama type display bases, or add some of these display bases that are beautiful and round, or very epic, and they're no longer just a regular square generic bases, or those god-awful footprint sand bases that we got all the time with so many of the Star Wars collectibles. It gives those that have these figures already a reason to get a 2.0, or perhaps a different version of that particular figure. But you're seeing it right here. Red alert on Spidey. Wow. And I do not think it's going to be too long before this one goes by the wayside and is going to just be an absolute disaster to try and get within the secondary market for a fair price. Pause. You're watching the Aries Tarrington Show. Cheers to you, baby. All right. So continuing to move on here, let's take a look at a couple of things within the secondary market. Something that's about to blow you out of the water is Crosshair. This is just... let me just ask the question. Is Hot Toys injecting collectability into their new releases? And I think that the answer is a resounding yes. $690, ladies and gentlemen. But to blow you even more away, that's not including the $64 in mixed shipping. Oh my, $750, not including taxes. $800 for a Crosshair, an outstanding seller with 311 feedback. all 100% positive. And for those here in the United States, this is not, this is just crazy. And so for those here, let's pull this one up onto the screen. And this one from California, and ongoing with just under a day left, and already at $790. 14 bids. Is this animated Fett? Is this Darkside? Forget about animated Fett. Forget about Darkside Anakin. This is like Han from A New Hope. Either one of those versions. This is like the Han and Chewbacca 2-pack. This is like the Hoth Snowtroopers tooth pack or 2-pack and 1-pack. This is insane. Okay? And again, this is a simple supply and demand. Okay? Is Crosshair more popular than Iron Man? No. Is Crosshair more popular than Spider-Man? Is he more popular than Spidey? Why is Crosshair selling better than this No Way Home Spider-Man right here from an outstanding seller with 71 feedback, all 100% positive? Why only $150? It's not like it's one bid. It's 17 bids. People trying to get a bargain. Not willing to go a penny over 150. Why? Because it's not rare. It's not rare yet. It's available at many comic shops. You can get this. It's not rare yet. Again, we're in a mature market. There's too many of them right now for it to fetch. Where Crosshair is. Does this mean that Crosshair, if they came out with a movie right now and they entitled it Crosshair, the movie, and Spider-Man, the next one from No Way Home, does that mean a Crosshair is going to blow it out? No. It's not more popular than Spider-Man at all. A lot of people don't even know what Crosshair is. Who he is. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is. It's too many of these. There's not that many of Crosshair. There's just not that many of Crosshair. There's just not. I mean, let's pull this up onto the screen. How's Vader doing? And $580 with 14 bids from a seller in California, Los Angeles, not including $27.80 in shipping. So already over $600 for the deluxe special edition, mind you, DX28. But look, because this is gone. It just came out, but it's gone. Yeah, so this is acting like it's a DX15. And it's certainly not acting like this. It's not acting like this Brie Larson figure. Captain Marvel. Only $4 away this was from cracking $100. And again, it wasn't one bid. A lot of bids, 23 bids. Again, that's the value. Not willing to put any more than $100 for these pool of bidders anyway. And from another outstanding seller with 155 feedback and all 100% positive. Are we ready for Moon Knight the movie? Is it going to do better than Doctor Strange? in the theater? Is it going to do better than Spider-Man in the theater? Are we ready for Moon Knight, the movie? Will it blow out the Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, if you would just look at these figures and not do any homework on supply and demand, you may think so, because, look at this already here. $350. Not including the $40 in shipping, $390. Not including taxes, over $400 for Moon Knight. Why? Not very many of them. Well, I thought you can get these at comic shops all across the United States. Okay, well, tell me where. I'll go pick one up. I thought you can get Crosshair all across these comic shops in the United States. Tell me where. Can see some online retailers selling Crosshair. Not for $200, though. So tell me where. Again, we got to pay attention to these wait lists. That Crosshair, it's not making it in my collection because it is, I'm going to be getting Grand Moff Tarkin before I ever go ahead and get this, that's for sure. Unfrackin' believable, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, that's hitting, Dutch territory. I mean, look at this here, $900 for, Hot Toys came out with this such a long time ago. Predator. Dutch. Wow. 41 bids. $5.95 in shipping. Wow, that's pretty good. What a deal. Are these instant grails? Like this Leia Hoth? Again, the Crosshair, the Moon Knight, some of these Vader, some of these figures, they're acting like Leia Hoth. Go to a local comic shop and try and find Leia Hoth. You're not going to find it. It's going to be hard to find. And right now, $355 with 9 bids, but not including the near $52 in shipping. Wow. And why? Because it's no longer on pre-order. Can't find it at a comic shop. If I could find this on pre-order, I'd pre-order it. If I waitlist would convert on Leia Hoth, which I don't have one, I would buy it. And it's kind of funny, my waitlist did convert on Padme. And did I go ahead and order it today? And I say, yes, I did. I was like, oh, nice. Nice, because that figure is going to start getting like this figure. Hopefully not like Crosshair. Goodness gracious me. How about this Umbra video game, Arc Trooper, right? Yeah, that's what this is. And no, I didn't secure this, but, and obviously, with all these 16 bids, the people trying to get this didn't secure it either. But some lucky bidder just secured this for $460. Your Arena Fett effect is in full motion, baby. Outstanding seller with 1,632 feedback, not including the 1510 in shipping, not including taxes, not including the 13th skull. Are you kidding me? Ancient action figure is this? And I say yes. Our ancient action figure, our ancient aliens from the past are coming to our reality to try and get one of these. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these aliens bid on this. What's in their wallet? Pause. You're watching the Aries Tarrington Show right here, baby. delicious. Again, what's more rare? Captain Marvel or the Umbra Trooper? Crazy, crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely crazy, crazy stuff. So when you see that Vader, and you think about this Vader here, which recently, and I put out, my last couple of videos talking about this, this 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader. Oh, God, gosh, it's. I did, like I said, I caught it right before it hit the wait list at a low stock warning, and I did not want to mess around dealing with it. And thank goodness I did. Same thing with that Hayden Christensen Battle Damage Vader, half a head sculpt. So I got both of those on pre-order. So this Ancient Action Figure Theorist is going to be okay. And luckily, I say go ahead and join the wait list on a lot of these figures that you want, even the artisan ones. Don't think they won't come to pass. I told you already that my artisan Wonder Woman, it's basically an artisan, they just called it Warner Brothers 100, converted. I already bought her, and I have her, so I didn't go ahead and get her. I guess I should have, right? So I could have went ahead and sold her, but I don't really bother with that kind of stuff. But I guess I should have, right? But I'm sure that my artisan Anakin, the artisan Anakin's going to do that. And I wouldn't be surprised. I joined the wait list right away when I didn't hit the queue that particular day. So I'll have to wait and see what happens. I got my artisan Joker pre-ordered. I don't have an artisan Scarlet Witch. I'm on the wait list for that. Same thing with Jack Sparrow. So, but wow, I mean, this is the new norm. All right, let's talk about this Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian Season 2. Now, every single version is on the wait list. So when you look right here on Sideshow, this thing is completely gone. The collector edition, waitlisted. The exclusive edition, waitlisted. The deluxe special edition, waitlisted. And the deluxe other one, waitlisted. They're all waitlisted. And this figure, quite frankly, and I think it was the deluxe version exclusive that was available one at a time, I think it was, here on Sideshow for the last months, was the only one that you could get while the other ones all sold out. And quite interestingly, that particular figure still in a secondary market. It wasn't moving like some of those other figures I showed you earlier, like the Moff Gideon, the Captain Marvel, or even the Tom Holland black suit Spider-Man from No Way Home. It was selling very, very close to retail, sometimes even over retail. It was selling very, very, very good. And if you remember, there was a Wonder Woman. The one that I have with the wool-rooted hair is kind of like an upgrade, head sculpt, hair-wise, of that particular version of that Wonder Woman. Of course, you can get that sculpted hair one, but the sculpted hair one, the exclusive version, was available for a little bit too, for some months, while the regular version was waitlisted. And that one is starting to shoot up in price. So you have to wonder, does that mean that the same would happen with Luke Skywalker? And I say, yes, especially with this figure in this moment. Don't forget, Mandalorian right now is a little out of sight, a little out of mind, meaning that it's been a little bit since Season 3. But you do have to remember that they're working on creating a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and some other movies and some other stuff that's going to be going on with The Mandalorian. And I can tell you right now, Luke's going to be a huge part of that. And, this figure, I have this figure, and it is nice, baby. It is nice, nice, nice. But I think that this figure has the potential to be a grail for sure. Give it some time. The other thing that I think is going to happen with it, especially because of the moment that this represents, does this open the door? Again, it doesn't matter if something's in stock or not, the way that they've been, again, as I pointed out in many shows. How many Scarlet Witches could you come out at one time, even while they're up on pre-order? How many Lokis? How many Iron Mans? How many Spider-Mans? Now how many Anakins? Is it going to happen with Luke, Boba Fett, Darth Vader? Yes, yes, and yes. It's going to happen. That's what they keep doing. Doesn't matter if there's other versions that are available. They don't have to space these out. Quite frankly, they can't afford to space these out. Okay? It's a mature market, as I've been telling you. So you're going to be seeing a lot of variations of figures available at one time. This is something that has worked with Batman, something that has worked with Spider-Man, and something that has worked with Iron Man for a long, long time. And an economy like this, and the way that these are being sold now, you could start taking that scenario and starting to place it towards other characters for sure. And Luke Skywalker, my friends, is no exception. So when you look at, Luke and Grogu and what happened in the book of Boba Fett, where there was a direct correlation between Luke and Yoda from the forest of Dagobah to what was going on in the book of Boba Fett, where Luke was building the temple and he was training Grogu. Do I think that there's a set that's going to be coming out from there, perhaps in limited quantities? I say absolutely. Absolutely. Look, and I'm sure many of you will say, no, just like no with Pirates of the Caribbean. But you know what? There's enough people that was interested in that Jack Sparrow. There'll be certainly enough people that'll be interested in Luke Skywalker and Grogu in that regard. When you're coming out again with these low quantities, you could come out with 5 more different versions of Elizabeth Olsen all this year, and they'll sell them all as long as they're 2,500. Limited like that. A run. Telling you right now. This is not the last Luke you're going to see this year. And that one Han Solo that's up there from the Return of the Jedi, that is certainly not the last Luke Han you're going to see this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple more Hans that are going to be up on pre-order before the end of the year. I don't think the one from Return of the Jedi lasts on pre-order. It will be on waitlist before the end of this year. You heard it right here on 6-scale Cantina. And am I seeing movement on this? Again, this already has been selling at retail, selling very, very well in the secondary market. Let's give this a month or two and keep an eye on it. But I do think that this will be a high riser, something that sold very consistently well for Hot Toys and Sideshow. Does this mean that they can capitalize on a Luke and Grogu to keep those sales moving along in limited quantities? I say yes. All right, so what do I think of all of this crazy heat that we recently just got this week from the Star Wars Power of the Darkside, the Darkside line? Now, you could see a lot of this up on the screen that I put up over here. So many. Of course, 000, Commander Cody Chrome version, Lord Starkiller, Stormtrooper with a Death Star environment, Darth Revan, And that, what is that? That B21, that droid, you've got one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. It is absolute insanity with all of these figures that came out this week. Which one am I most excited about? And again, I don't want to regurgitate a lot of what other channel creators have already spoke on this week. So I'm going to take a different route. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be talking a lot about what I think these mean as far as setting the table for what else is to come, to be quite frank with you. But, I think the big shebang here for me is Darth Revan. Will I get Darth Revan for my collection? I say yes. What about Lord Starkiller? What about BT-1? What about the Stormtrooper? I don't think so. I don't really collect figures that don't have head sculpts. Not because I don't want to, because I have to budget. I can't even get half the figures, not even close to that, with the head sculpts. Of course, Darth Revan is kind of like Darth Vader with Empire Strikes Back or A New Hope. He doesn't really have a head sculpt in those films. So, Darth Revan, more than fine for me with that Sith Lord to buy that like that. So I'm very, very excited for me on Darth Revan. But I think these are great. I think this is exceptional. And the Darth Revan at $270, you can't go wrong. It is absolutely special. I love the commemorative coins. And I love that you can get the the Sith coins here. It's a great, great figure. But you do have to ask yourself, does this set the table for other figures like Kylo Ren, like an artisan Kylo Ren? And I did hear and read many comments about the possibility of a Kylo Ren or sequel trilogy figure of Kylo Ren. What would be the purpose of it? Again, I've seen a couple of comments, and I don't really, I look at my comments, but, looking through Facebook or some different things, why would they come out with this character? Oh, why not? They came out with Gore. They came out with the Grand Inquisitor. This figure like this is going to blow that away. This is Sith Lord. This is from a sequel trilogy that made over $4 billion. Even after all that hoopla and controversy from The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker made over $1 billion. Of course they're going to come out with this. Of course they're going to come out with it. They're only putting it, they could just put out 1,500. How many Wonder Womans do they have out on there? Goodness gracious, how many Wonder Womans Hot Toys has. And versions. You don't got that many versions of an Adam Driver head sculpt, but you got two. Of course they'll give you an artisan on this. He has the perfect hair for it. And they're already telling you, and they don't have rolling eyes with Adam Driver yet, do they? They don't have rolling eyes function. Again, time for a new Chevy. And they come out with collectors that have kept Kylo Ren in their collection. Are you going to appeal to those collectors that collect these to have an updated head sculpt, maybe the best one yet? Rolling eyes function, USB powered. Opportunity for rooted hair for those that want those. Who knows what kind of a display base? And can you even imagine if they decide to go ahead and actually pair this with a Darkside Rey and an eternal Sith Emperor from The Rise of Skywalker? Then all of a sudden, you're going to have a whole reason to collect from that line. There's a lot of darkness that's involved. A lot of darkness that's involved with the Rise of Skywalker. There just is. You know, and say what you want about that film. Like I said, it made over $1 billion, but a lot of fans agree. The beginning of the film and parts of the ending of the film are two of the most epic parts in Star Wars. I mean, that beginning part, and Kylo Ren's going to Exegol, and then you hear the Emperor go, "At last, my boy." I don't know, pretty chilling. It's pretty cool. You give me a figure the way he looks there at the end, that's going to look pretty darn wicked in a display case. And when you're talking about numbers where you could just put out 1,500 of it, it'll go in 10 minutes. Not even. I mean, it's just going to be gone. That's just quick, easy money. And what have I pointed out? You're going to come out with a Darkside Ray or a Kylo Ren or an Eternal Sith, and you're going to put 15,000, 20,000 of them out a piece? You're going to sit on them. And that's not the hot thing right now. But I'll be quite honest with you. Batman vs. Superman's not the hot thing right now. Why are they putting out figures from there? Because they're only putting out a limited amount. Pirates of the Caribbean's not hot right now. And Johnny Depp just recently came off trial. And what was everybody telling me last year? Aries are crazy. Never do an artisan Jackson. Never do Johnny Depp. Okay, well, they did. Very limited amount. Again, passe. Who cares about Pirates of the Caribbean? I don't know, about 3,000-4,000. Care? Who cares about Kylo Ren? About 3,000-4,000. Care? Who cares about Darkside Ray? About 3,000-4,000. Care? I'm telling you, who cares about the Emperor? You look at that banner right there, they come out with an Emperor that looks like that. You probably put 10,000 of those out. I mean, it's the Emperor. It's Darth Sidious. Put the Darth in front of the name there, baby. Anything Darth is going to go. Especially that guy. It could be freaking... you want to talk about things that were horrible. You put out figures from the holiday special. Whether it's Boba Fett or C-3PO or whatever it is, they're going to sell, baby. I don't know. It's come on. It's just... it's how it is. And, you know, when you look at this particular... I mean, let me put this in context for you. Gaze upon that. That would look pretty good in your DTOF, wouldn't it? That would look pretty good in your display case. That's pretty much what an artisan's gonna look like. And some people will buy this just if it looks like this for the artistry. For the sheer awesomeness. But if they put this out, I could care less what I think of the movie. There's not a chance I'm going to skip on a Kylo Ren that looks like this. Not a chance. It'll blow away my other Kylo Rens. And right off the bat, if I ever have to worry about selling it, just like if I ever have to worry about selling the rooted hair Wonder Woman, oh, easy. It should go as $800-900. What do you think this is going to go for? It's a Star Wars piece. And you're going to start limited numbers? What is this going to be limited to? 2,500, 3,500, 4,500 pieces? Are you kidding me? Gaze upon that. Gaze upon that. I mean, I'd be all over this, baby. I would be all over this. And this is the kind of stuff you're going to get, you know, from this Darkside line, including this. And they're not going to show you every single thing. They let you know that Revan's coming to kind of give you a little bit of a taste. And of course, they didn't unveil Neelis. But for the video game, it's coming to. This has already been done. Okay? By Hasbro. Okay, where really the license is extended to, for Hot Toys, because Hasbro really has the license for everything and all of it. Okay, there's just not a chance that they're not going to capitalize on Darth Nihilus. Okay, this is already out. Okay, they know how to be able to make this correctly. So you're gonna get stuff like this for sure. And another thing that Hasbro and Gentle Giant and FX and so many others have also come out with, quite frankly, are is this. And looking at her, this has the Darkside line written all over it, folks. Pause. You're watching the Aries Tarrington show. It just does. Pause. Drink it. Drink it up. Don't forget, all of you, to text me and to leave a comment when they put this out this year. With the Darkside line to go along with her name, Darkside Ray. It couldn't be any more perfect, right? Are we going to get Darkside Ray? Do they follow suit on some of these things like other companies that have had success, one after the other, after the other? I mean, here's your Hasbro, okay, Black Series Darkside Ray from the Rise of Skywalker. Okay? And here's your Darkside Ray from Gentle Giant. This nice, wonderful bust, which is also proof that she doesn't need to be snarling with vampire teeth. They don't have to do that at all. They could just have her straight-faced here. So you can see that they put these out. And I can continue to go on. I mean, here's even Funko. And they even put out a pop of Darkside Ray. You can see it right here. I mean, it's really become a cult classic, Darkside Ray. And they're coming out with a Darkside line. I mean, I want you to say that to yourself. Darkside Ray, Darkside line. How do they not put it out? I mean, Darkside Ray, Darkside line. Here's your FX. Darkside Ray lightsaber, limited. Well, of course, if they come out with a Darkside Ray, it's going to be limited too. But, I mean, come on. And, I mean, honestly, and when you look at some of this stuff, let's pull up this Emperor tease. And let's talk about this. Let's really, really talk about it. Okay? They're not coming out with these figures again, folks. This is the same figures that they have with the chair, with the Emperor, with the Royal Guards. Okay? All this is showing you that they're about to come out with a Darkside line of figures. That's what a lot of this stuff, in my opinion, is. And you also have to pay attention to the words that Hot Toys is using, which they've been very, very careful the last 2 years to be very, very purposeful in their marketing and in their words. And I'm going to blow this up for you so you can see it. What does it say, official from Hot Toys, right up here on the screen? Long have I waited. And now comes... Well, yeah. Long have I waited. That's not a line from the Emperor from the original trilogy. That's not a line from Ian McDiarmid from the prequel trilogy. That is a line from Ian McDiarmid from the sequel trilogy. So you have to ask yourself, is this a clear indication that an emperor is coming from the rise of Skywalker? And I say, yes. It's right here in writing. Listen. I don't know what else I can tell you until it actually goes up on pre-order. But you know, when they're showing you this stuff here, you know, ooh, wait a minute, but they showed this. You're wrong, Aries. They're showing it because they're showing you they're going to do the Emperor again, the Royal Guards again. They're going to do all that. Really, and they're going to do these again, too? They're going to give you the 2.0 already and the Grand Inquisitor and the Third Sister? No! They're just teasing you that they're coming out with a line of figures. They've used it. A line of figures. A line. Line of figures, not a figure, not two figures, a line of figures for the Darkside line. They're not giving you these two again. They're not going to give you this Emperor again. This Emperor didn't say, long have I waited. Look, they even picked a special font for it. They allowed it on their site. And, you know, you can see this right here. Are they going to do an artisan? Is this sculpted? Who cares? Who cares? It's going to be sculpted and artisan. You'll be able to get them both. You'll be able to get them both. There's a specific reason why you didn't get an option with the Hayden Christensen Anakin. And it's clearly because they're coming out with a Darkside version. That's the reason why. Okay, you're getting another artisan Anakin. And it's coming down the pike. And there's going to be an opportunity to be able to get that version that you see up right now in a sculpted form, and they're just holding off on that. I really, really, really believe it. Otherwise, everything else is going to have the sculpted. There's a specific reason with that Anakin because they got something else up their sleeve. And I'm telling you right now, they've already have experience with making money with Darkside Anakin. It was very successful for them. They know how much that figure goes for in the secondary market. They do have spies that pay attention to videos like mine and other community videos on what's going on. They know that there is a high demand for another Darkside Anakin. They know if they pull out a Darkside Anakin, which is essentially Darth Vader, and it has rolling eyes function and USB features, and is slightly different than that exclusive piece, with it being a different base for some different functions and USB powered, it is going to be going like mad because essentially that figure is Darth Vader before he got burnt. And there's not a chance in hell they don't capitalize on Darth Vader again and again and again. And especially for the novelty version of Darth Vader, which is Darth Vader before he gets burnt to a crisp. And it's going to happen again. And they saw just how fast, with data that they collected, a non-Darkside Anakin went. Just imagine how much a Darth Vader dubbed Darkside Anakin goes. For those that want the artisan version. But this here, I mean, it's the same as looking at this picture here. Okay. You're going to get some Darkside figures. And I fully expect a few figures, to be quite honest with you. Particularly the Emperor, Kylo Ren, and Darkside Rey from the Rise of Skywalker. And again, you have to ask yourself, why did they use these words, long have I waited. And now comes... And I think we're going to get blown away. I think we're really, really going to get blown away with this awesomeness. For sure. But that Eternal Sith... Hoo-hoo. Hoo-hoo. Ooh. Goosebump City. You're going to get Revan. You're going to get Nihilus. You're probably going to get Asajj Ventress. I wouldn't be surprised. You get a Savage Opress. I would be a little bit surprised if we got a General Grievous, but I wouldn't be. What do I mean by that? Well, I really think you can get a Grievous for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith next year. But I also, knowing Hot Toys, know that you could come out with a Grievous for this line right now. Darkside line. Have it, waitlist on pre-order in 3-4 months. And then, sometime next year, go ahead and put up a Grievous for the 20th anniversary, a slightly different one. There's so many ways that they can go and do it. And we can't say no to that anymore. But why can't we say no to that no more? Because you're seeing so many figures come out left and right of the same character already in stock, of the same character already on pre-order. Whether it's Ben Affleck, Batman's, whether it's any version of Spider-Man, anything. They're just coming, whether it's lower-end characters, Elizabeth Olsen, Loki, they're just coming out with it. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. This whole logical, in 6 months, they'll come out with another hand. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with another hand in 6 minutes. And then another one after that. Why? Why not? Because it's what they're doing. Follow the breadcrumbs. It's absolutely what they're doing. There's so much goodness going on. All right. And with that, if you liked what you watched here today, you just may want to consider becoming a Cantina Insider, which is a channel member here. I do appreciate your support. It does really help with the collecting and with all the time that I put in to this content here. So thank you very, very much for your support. And I do have a brand new Insider Extra I'm going to be putting out. It is already recorded, but it's not out yet. And it's 40 minutes. A 40-minute Insider Extra that has expanded thoughts and heightened analysis on the Darkside line. And I do speak about the Emperor and Kylo and Rey from the Rise of Skywalker film, and give some of my thoughts as to why I think these are imminent from Hot Toys this year. Also speak a lot about Ra's al Ghul and some other figures as well. You absolutely do not want to miss this Insider Extra. Long has Howard waited. Long has Howard waited. Are these on the screen? Big ticket collectibles. Go ahead, click on the little join button. See everything that it comes with. If you think you could benefit from it, baby, I do appreciate your support. So look, with that, I'm all out of the darn coffee. And who knows where the spotchka went. And all that is left is this wizard juice. And some constellations remain. If you could see in there. And if I drink down and align with the stars, these constellations, you have to wonder what other insight may pop in here when it comes to ancient action figures. But remember, I don't always drink this wizard juice. But when I do, baby, I do it right here at the 6 scale cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.